I recognize that some nonprofits are one person, right? So the next thing I'm going to say might not necessarily apply to those people, but who you have around you and your team is one of the most important things, the most critical things that count when it comes to prioritizing things, at least in my opinion, right? Who you have around you is a lot of value. When I go through times where everything feels important and I'm overwhelmed and I'm scattered and I'm, oh my God, I have to do 5 grant applications all at once. Sometimes being there with your team and having your team help you reflect on what's important and asking them their opinion on what they think is important really helps to kind of bring down a little bit of the chaos, for lack of a better word, about it. And sometimes the staff will be like, well, you'll think something's important and the staff won't, and it'll wind up being a huge, great discussion, that you didn't really necessarily think about, right? But I mean, as always, I am a tremendous user of to-do lists. I have to-do lists for my to-do lists, and I spend a lot of time reflecting on that, right? Like I start out the week with the first half hour of my week is spent with my to-do list and creating one for the week and all the expectations and that sort of thing. Because I really feel that for me, it's helpful. Again, I'm going to bring out the hats, but not necessarily the hats within the organization, but the difference between a leader and a manager. And I put on, when I'm dealing with prioritizing things, I put on my manager hat because if I'm wearing my leader hat, I tend to be mission focused. And I actually read a really good quote this morning that was, people with great passion can make the impossible happen. And I tend to fall into that category when I put on my leader hat. And that's when the pressure really falls on my shoulders. But if I take that hat off for a little while and I put on my task hat, my manager hat, task focused, it allows me to focus on what needs to be done in what priority, in what order. And then as things come across my desk, I can review them and schedule them and go from there. But I operate in a little bit of a different mindset when dealing with prioritizing things.